are these people?
Well, welcome. My camera froze. Hold on. See, this is what I'm talking about with the tech.
We can hear you talking, but you're not moving on the camera. So.
Oh no, it's completely frozen. I noticed that. Hold on.
Now you're not there at all. Oh, now you're back.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm here, Bad Cookies. I will always be here. I'm eating, and I didn't have playing catch up here. You know, this is Witchy's playing catch up.
Yeah. So welcome to Angel in the Afternoon. Of course, I'm Angel Rivera alongside Alex Knight and Miss Witchy's perfect voice. So thank you very much for joining us. Let's see here. I feel a lot better from last week. I mean, I was in horrible shape last week. I can barely speak while doing the show. So after a week of allergy pills, feeling much better. My nose is a little stuffy, but other than that, I mean, I'm in good shape. So we'll be continuing. Sorry?
Bad Cookies making, let's make them all suck some lemons. That kind of fell flat, didn't it?
We'll be continuing to cover the U.S.-Israel holy war in Iran is what it is, because they keep talking about how they hate it's all about getting rid of the not imam but the Ayatollah Khomeini. It's all about that. Now his son is taking over. Apparently his son is more extremist than his dad even, so it's like, great job, you got rid of the.
You saw my message, Angel, just like a few minutes ago. You'll see Trump's response on another reason why they're doing it. If you saw my message.
Yeah, I did see that.
The problem with all that is that literally you have a big psyop in the fact that they have been coveting Iran for years and years and years. So a war with them. Okay, so they've been coveting this for years, but it's a big psyop. It's no himbo comes in the chat, which I'm sure he will soon. He would say psyop.
My camera keeps crashing on me. It did it again.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's. Hold on. Let's see how long it lasts, because I'm gonna have to turn off this camera if it keeps doing that. 'Cause I don't have time to to keep doing that. So all right, we're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover what else? Trump planned to release 172 million barrels of oil from the reserves. So obviously to stabilize gas prices.
We ain't gonna see a drop.
Obviously, in an attempt to stabilize gas prices. I mean, they're going up since the invasion of Iran.
And Trump supporters are not defending it.
We are not going to see a drop of that oil. Jesus Christ.
And the Iranians have shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which is devastating because that's a big strait, for all the oils come through that, and a lot of products go through that, through the shipping lanes. So, yeah, we're going to see big price increases, not just on oil.
Also, apparently, Netanyahu has 6 fingers on each hand.
Yeah, I did see that.
For him, he's a fucking freak. I have some articles from our lovely Descent in Bloom. The first one is Google is handing data of ICE critics to DHS. Ooh, that's a good one. If we get through that one, I'll do the Americans keep saying this feels like Nazi Germany. Ooh. We got lots of sucking dicks going too. Mm-hmm.
Are we the baddies?
Let's start off with. Hold on. Let me see. Oops. Oh, I can't find it.
Yeah, that clip or image of Netanyahu was AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why you do that. I mean, why are you posting AI of yourself and not real footage? Like, what is going on?
That makes no sense.
If you're going to use AI, you might as well just show, put a picture of you of AI with a 10-inch dick or 12-inch dick. That would make more sense.
So Polymarket is showing that predicting that the Democrats are going to win the House and the Senate in the midterms this year.
Well, yeah, that's most likely to happen, but that's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
celebrate about.
that's 50% Democrat sweep. Republican sweep is only at 17%. So, yeah, I mean, the reason
I
why.
hope that AOC somehow loses this time because she deserves it.
Yeah, she's in a solidly blue district. So, if she somehow loses, then she's in horrible shape to run for president. Anyways, Polymarket also posted this, like, they're credible because they thought Trump would win the election. They had Trump winning the election in the betting market. So, yeah, that's anybody could predict this. I mean, Trump has just started a massive war in Iran, so obviously there's going to be a political shift back to the Democrats in 2026. And then
What's the matter, Maga? I thought he was the no war president.
Oh no, this
he didn't start one his first term, even though he fucking was trying so fucking hard.
And of course, Tulsi Gabbard still remains missing ever since the bomb.
She's MIA, huh? Missing in actions.
Yeah.
This is from HopSpot. Glad they posted this. How Palantir kills and surveils people around the world. So, there we go. Check this out.
This is Maven Smart System. Palantir's software as a service product that we are deploying across the entire department. As you can see, it's not just one data feed, it's multiple. And instead of having 8 or 9 systems for those decision makers to look at every single day in order for them to make decisions, you then fuse it into a single visualization tool. The single visualization tool allows you to select different types of data, look at different approaches to data, but more importantly, action from the same system that you're trying to develop your workflows around. Once you have a detection that you want to actually move into a targeting workflow, for example, this is what we do. Left click, right click, left click, magically, it becomes a detection. That detection then gets moved.
Left click, right click, left, and then all of a sudden, 4 people are dead. Bye-bye. Nice knowing you, poor people. They're going to use this on us, guys, not just Middle East.
Palantir is one of the worst corporations in the world. I mean, other content creators have gone deep into Palantir. I really haven't, because quite frankly, I don't have the time, especially now.
Especially that guy, Alex Carp. I think that's his first name. When he's always like this.
Yeah.
Always.
Wait, wasn't that guy from the?
Sorry, what?
That I forgot what it was now, but it's like this guy.
Well, yeah, he's always flopping around like
True.
Keep straight.
True bad cookies. Indy does a lot of stories on Palantir. So check that out on his shows.
So does Descent in Blue, my sister from another mother.
Mm-hmm. So I have a lot on my plate right now with the classes that I'm taking and all this stuff that's going on.
We gotta get Descent, Snow, and
I have been trying. But they only seem to have like million shows at the same time. Yeah.
I can't remember his name right now.
Well, Crab won't do it. I mean, Crab has already been kind of dismissive on coming on. Snow and Descent Bloom had done it before, so.
Well, what about the other guy? I can't. For some reason, I can't remember his name.
Bill.
Bill. Yes.
Bill.
All right, so let's finish this up, and then I'll get to my article.
Also, Dave, if you're listening or watching.
Oh yeah. Well, he's been busy.
Oh, Dave's going to be on my show. I'm recording a birthday bash for crew this Sunday at 1 p.m. And Angel's going to be a little late, but Dave and Git are going to be on. Because Dave is like so excited, and he gave me a shout out on his latest podcast. So I was like,
yes.
My birthday's coming up on the 26th.
Oh, happy birthday!
Hey, well, happy birthday! You'll be what? 27?
35.
There you go, 35.
I want to walk you through it quickly. You have different types of targets that are identified on the left there. Every single column produces a different type of decision-making process.
Yeah,
Once
no
you
one
have
gets
that decision and you're trying to actually action that process, we now move into COA generation, course of action generation, where we are automatically, via a number of factors, trying to identify what the best asset to prosecute a target looks like. Once we've got
Prosecute a target means either surveil them or murder them, basically, like prosecute.
the different
Yeah.
approaches and we select one, we then can move directly into how do we action that target.
No, not
so we've
Dave
gone
Rubin.
from identifying the target
How do we action that target? In other words, kill them. You won't say
to
that
now coming
directly.
up with a course of action.
Yeah, they
to now
will use it
action
on
that
poor
target,
people.
all from one system. This is revolutionary. We were having this done in about 8 or 9 systems.
You
where
better learn
humans
how to
were
hack real
literally
fast,
moving
Angel.
protections left
You
and
hack
right
this shit
in order
out.
to get to our
Look at that. I mean, that's incredible. Like, it's like real time, and it's
a desired end state. In this case, actually closing a kill chain.
there's something called ethical hacking in cybersecurity. So it's like this would be ethical hacking. Like trying to get rid
That's what I'm
of.
saying. Learn that shit fast. I'll help you.
So there you go. That's how Palantir surveils us and murders us with one AI, with one powerful AI, and that's why they're putting up these data centers around, not only around the country but around the world. So this is a cyberpunk dystopian world that we're in, and most people don't even realize it.
Yeah, they will be using it on poor people. Mark my words. What they do over there, they will do over here. I hate to bring up Jimmy Dore again, but he was being truthful when he said, what they do over there, they will do over here.
My camera crashed again.
Oh, fuck.
Look at
What,
that.
Alex?
I said, why you hate that you're quoting him?
Oh, I don't hate it. But, he was very truthful in that statement where he says, what they do over there, they will do over here.
But
There you
he's
go.
still telling a lot of truth stuff in his videos. So
Well, yeah,
That's very true.
It depends of which. Sometimes he goes off in like right wing stuff, but for the most part, he does.
Well, he
good
hasn't
work.
done any right wing stuff lately, so.
I haven't been watching much of him lately. I do see a couple of videos. He does good stuff, but
I still watching his videos, and he's not doing any right stuff.
So this was
Isn't
funny.
he on tour?
What?
Isn't he on tour? I thought he was on tour there.
Or yeah. But I'm just saying,
He might be on tour.
He hasn't posted any right wing content.
Okay. So this what I thought was funny. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was pulled away from a live interview. Told the president wants you right away. After returning, he was visibly shaking.
Yeah, he has to suck your dick. It's time for him to suck your dick.
Neither Netanyahu or Ben Gvir has been seen in public for days. So I think Netanyahu's been seen in public though recently, not Ben Gvir yet.
Angel, it reminds me of that meme. I'm sure you know what it is when the person tells Mr. McMahon Triple H's here, and he's like, "Take him to him. Go, 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 go." You know that one, right?
Yeah. So whoops.
No one has seen this guy since, huh?
There's a quick video before we get to these articles that I have. Then we'll.
It's time for you to die. All the pedophiles say you're next. You are the pedophiles.
I listened to you on the.
The president wants you. Sorry, the president wants you right away.
Oh, okay. Okay. No problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Secretary, I have to say,
2 hours
it's a first.
later? Look at that. That conversation took 2 hours before he came back.
I'm sure, alas, as well, that an interviewee's been pulled away to go to the Situation Room. How was the president? Was he stressed?
No, the president is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule, and I have to tell you, Wolf, that I've a teenage.
He got his talking points, but he's like super nervous
He
about
definitely
it.
has a lot of trouble talking. I hear him in the hearings and stuff.
Yeah, he had to be brief.
Yeah. He got his talking points, but at the same time, the president probably told him to go fuck himself or something. That's why he's kind of like shaking.
Teenager who's considering military service, and I could give this team my highest compliment from President Trump to the head of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of War. I would say that I would trust my child's life in their hands.
I don't. And I'm not going to let you take my son to war. If you don't like that, you can go suck a dick. I'd like to see you try.
Angel, before looks like your camera crashed again.
You know what? I might just turn it off. It is ridiculous. Or put on my other webcam. But
What I was gonna say was before you go to the article, play the video and the message I sent you minutes ago.
Oh, right. So Donald Trump claims. Hold on, where is it? Here we go. So Donald Trump claims that. I know I'm not even gonna set it up. I'm just gonna play it because, you guys, I'm sure heard it, but it's been kind of gone viral. So.
You got a snowstorm, Sean. Jesus, don't say that word.
Yeah, we had snow yesterday, I think, but it didn't. It was a little bit.
Yeah, we had snow Wednesday. Yesterday, and we had a little Wednesday. But Tuesday, it was like 80 degrees. My son went in shorts.
Yeah.
And then it's snowing.
Starting to get hot in my area.
Yeah. Sure
Shut up, Alex.
I'm not being happy about that.
Well, okay. I'm just messing with you.
Well, the president claims that Iran is anti-gay, but the U.S. he's pro-gay. He's pro-homosexuality. So
yeah, just listen.
This is the same Donald Trump who claims. Yeah, Trump says pro. Watch. It's I think anyway not Logan Paul, the other one, Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, Jake Paul. Yeah.
We support gays, but they throw gays off the buildings.
You're gonna have to
support this.
That's Saudi Arabia, idiot.
I mean, that's the highest it would go. Hold on.
We don't do that in Iran. They do that in Saudi Arabia, genius.
Are there subtitles there, or?
It was a great when they threw him off the roof.
Yeah, just play the video.
Shut up, Trump.
Let's see. Hopefully it's higher now.
We support gays, but they throw gays off the buildings. Okay.
No, that's Saudi Arabia, moron.
Things they do.
They throw kids off roofs in Saudi Arabia.
There's fucking Jake. I'm about to say Logan again. Jake Paul, and he's booked Ronda Rousey versus the other girl.
Oh, Trump! This is probably a hard blowjob right in the house.
Yeah.
They're fighting, but I think I have tremendous support on this. This is.
No, you don't.
It's been incredible. I have the best poll numbers I've ever had now.
I had the best poll numbers I ever had now. Because I know you have.
No.
Let's see.
And
sleeping?
For those who don't know, Jake Paul is the one who got punched in that, get destroyed in that boxing match against whoever that guy was. I don't remember.
Anthony Joshua.
That guy whooped his ass. He didn't even know where he was. He's like, ah!
Anthony Joshua whipped his ass over that.
Yeah, whipped his ass. Whipped his dog ass, yo. He lay there like, am I in a movie? Was it time to cut yet?
What?
Oh, he would love to give a blowjob to Trump. That's all that was.
So, that talked about the Iranians are shutting down the Strait of Hormuz and they're exporting more oil than before the war. But Angel, is so windy in Chicago, I thought that the hurricane-style winds was blowing a dumpster down the street. Turns out it was a Cybertruck. Huh. There you go.
Speaking of which, I'll be going back to Chicago in June for a few days. So,
Chicago.
Wow. My camera froze again. Look, Jesus.
But we still love you, Angel.
Well, how did that? You can't even see me there.
Wait,
I might just leave it off. For now, I don't know. Much longer, I'm gonna play with that. Iran's control of the Strait of Hormuz means it's exporting more oil than before the war. Iran has been exporting more oil over the past week than it has before the U.S. and Israel launched their holy war against the Islamic Republic on February 28th. I added the word holy, by the way, so it wasn't actually there. The report cited data from Kepler, a tanker tracking firm, which found since February 28th, 7 tankers have been loaded off the coast of Iran in at least 2 days, have already left the Persian Gulf. Kepler's data showed that over the past 6 days, tankers have loaded an average 2.1 million barrels of Iranian oil per day, the higher than the 2 million barrel average Iran exported in February. The report comes as President Trump is issuing repeated threats against Iran over the Strait of Hormuz, and his administration is scrambling to deal with the impact of his war is having on the global oil market. Brass prices are going up. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has maintained the strait is only open to ships that have permission to cross, which includes Chinese vessels, as China is a major buyer of Iranian oil. The Strait of Hormuz was effectively closed until further notice. Brigadier General Ibrahim Jabari, senior advisor to the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, said earlier this week, passage occurs only with our permission. Allied ships such as those from Russia, China, and select partner nations may transit. Enemy associated with vessels are not allowed to pass, and not a single drop of oil or cubic meter of gas will be permitted to this corridor. So the Russians, the Chinese, and certain other allies are allowed to cross their ships. So that'll piss off the U.S., of course. On Wednesday, 3 vessels off the coast of Iran were reportedly struck by projectiles, as the IRGC has warned that any ships attempting to cross the strait without permission will be hit. Photos show the Thai bulk carrier, the Morin Nari, was among the vessels struck. So I guess that's this ship here. According to the Royal Thai Navy, Marinari was hit while transiting the Strait of Hormuz, leaving the Khalifa port in the United Arab Emirates. It is said at least 20 crew members from the ship have been rescued so far. President Trump has previously suggested that the U.S. Navy could escort tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, but Iran warned that he would hit the U.S. vessels, according to a report from Reuters. The U.S. Navy has told shipping industry that escorts are not available at the moment. So there you go. There's no way that they're actually going to do that. The U.S. is not going to risk their ships. Cowboy says Angel could play the CIA scientist that locked the Smiths in a buffet so they could be his family. What?
Or you play as a Hispanic LGBTQ scientist or whatever.
Angel always looks creepy. I love it. Well, thank you. Let's see. Now the Russians.
If you get a chance, Angel, I just send you another tweet or message you another tweet whenever you want to look at it.
This is from Pakistan Today. Putin says global energy crisis has begun, but Russia is open to cooperation with Europe. So Putin's trying to get back in the European oil market, which is like, I mean, we're open for business, Europe. If you want to buy oil again, we're open, Let's see. Russian president, this is way too small. Russian President Vladimir Putin has stated that the global energy crisis already started, but emphasized that Russia remains prepared to collaborate with European nations on energy matters. I'm just speculating, but I'm pretty sure that Putin's going to raise the prices of oil for Europe, even though they have no choice but to buy from him. So, according to Putin, Western countries have imposed restrictions on Russian oil and gas export due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. As a result, Russia has been compelled to sell its energy resources at discounted rates to Asian markets. Putin remarked that the measures taken by Western powers have significantly altered global energy flows. He noted that while Europe has sought alternative suppliers, Russia has redirected much of its oil and gas exports to countries in Asia. Despite these changes, Putin reiterated that Russia is willing to work with European partners, stating that Russia is ready to engage in cooperation if there is interest on the European side. Russian president's comment came among ongoing tensions between Russia and Western nations, particularly following the imposition of sanctions and the reduction of Russian energy imports by Europe. These developments have led to shifts in the global energy markets that raise concerns about long-term energy security and pricing. Putin's remarks highlight the evolving landscape of international energy trade and underlines Russia's continued major role as a major energy supplier, despite geopolitical challenges and market realignment prompted by the Ukraine conflict. So Putin is openly saying, look, you want to buy oil from us, we're open for business, but let's see whether Europeans actually give in.
Bad cookies, you don't sound traitorous, treasonous, whatever. You are literally speaking the truth. Yeah, they're mopping the floor with the U.S. They're making us look like pussies, basically.
Yeah. It's not the war is not going well for the U.S. No matter, because I thought by this point they would have taken the entire country, but they haven't. Mm-hmm. They've been bogged down. So remember that bombing in the first day of the war of the Iranian elementary school? So apparently we now come to find out that the United States is responsible for that. So no surprise there. It was either the U.S. or Israel. So the U.S. is responsible for bombing an elementary school in Minab, southern Iran during the opening hours of the U.S.-Israeli war against Iran on February 28th. A strike that massacred 175 people, the vast majority being young schoolgirls and schoolboys, according to preliminary
but apparently,
U.S.
according to Trump, Iran did that.
Well, yeah, according to a preliminary U.S. military investigation. So the military investigated themselves, basically said, "Yeah, we're responsible for that." By the way, sorry. Surprising that the U.S. military would admit to that. People briefed on the investigation told the New York Times that it appeared that U.S. Central Command had created target coordinates for a strike using outdated information from the Defense Intelligence Agency. Oh, imagine that. They use old intelligence, and now they just accidentally bombed the school full of little kids. The school building was previously
no
part of...
accident.
Uh-huh. The school building was previously part of a nearby Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps base, but was separated and turned to a school sometime between 2013 and 2016. So they were using intelligence that's 10 years old? Like, wouldn't you get more recent intelligence, see what that is? That's just laziness.
Was
Meaning
there
the U.S.
a third part of that?
She's a part of the administration now, isn't she? I saw something.
Yeah.
She was promoted. She was hired to do something with the U.S. Air Force.
The Air Force Academy.
Which is crazy. Like, she has no... She was in the Air Force or what? Because
Do we need any more proof that she killed Charlie?
Yeah, all of a sudden now she's in the administration. Meaning the U.S. military may have used information that's over a decade old. The U.S. military has been using artificial intelligence to help with targeting, but the Times reports it said that it appeared the strike in the school was likely a result of human error. So it seems like either A, that's true, or B, they're covering for what the artificial intelligence did. So the Times said it reviewed satellite imagery showing that watchtowers that once stood near the building had been removed. Three public entrances were open to the school and ground was cleared. Play areas, including the sports field, were painted on the asphalt, and walls are painted blue and pink. If they would have bothered to look at the satellite imaging, they would have realized this is not a Iranian Revolutionary Guard base anymore. But of course they didn't. They just bombed it. Middle East Eye reported that the school was hit by two separate strikes, and that the second one hit children who were sheltering in the prayer hall after their parents were killed following the first attack. When the first bomb hit the school, one of the teachers and the principal moved a group of students to the prayer hall to protect them. An Iranian Red Crescent medic told the ME. The principal called the parents and told them to come pick up their children, but the second bomb hit that area as well. Only a small number of those taking shelter survived. So far, there are no confirmation or acknowledgement from the U.S. officials that the school was struck twice. The Times report said that, based on this analysis, the IRGC base was struck again within 2 hours after the initial strike. So it's a double tap, which is a war crime. It's been clear since the day of the bombing that the U.S. was likely responsible for the massacre at the school, and footage shows what appears to be a U.S.-made Tomahawk missile striking the IRGC base during the attack. But President Trump has tried to pass the blame onto Iran, and even falsely claimed that Iran has Tomahawk missiles. Though, when pressed on the claim, the president admitted he didn't know enough about it. The Iranians don't have Tomahawk missiles. That's just a blatant lie by Trump.
And now Trump just said, I think he just said recently, look at all the Tomahawk missiles we have. I just saw the tweet.
Yeah, so he's like talking out of both sides of his mouth, like, oh, it was the Iranians. They have Tomahawk missiles.
I just gotta say, when Trump won, I thought his second term was going to be just the same as his first,
That's what I thought too.
Expected. But
second verse, same as the first.
But this is even worse than I thought. It's by far the worst administration in my lifetime. Like, holy shit.
Yes, exactly, Bad Cookies. They knew exactly who they were bombing. Don't let them fool you into saying, oh, well, sorry, we didn't know this whole bullshit. You know that synagogue that got shot up, or some guy ran his truck into it? Not shot up.
Yeah.
It was some guy ran his truck into a synagogue.
Yeah.
I went, yeah, you care about all those effing kids in a freaking synagogue and a freaking church, but you don't give a fuck about a school in the Middle East. So don't tell me you're fucking pro-life. You.
U.S. Secretary of War.
It's like that Shrek clip. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm
willing to make. Yes.
U.S. Secretary of War, also known as Fox News' third-string host, Pete Hegseth, wouldn't back up Trump's claim that Iran was responsible, but also refused to comment on the massacre, besides saying it's under investigation. Throughout the U.S. and Israeli, even though throughout the U.S. and Israeli bombing campaign, Hexeth said the U.S. military is operating without stupid rules of engagement and without mercy. By the way, those rules of engagement are supposed to stop you from doing war crimes, but of course, you want to do war crimes. Let's see.
Look like I said to my dad, I said, Israel, look what they're doing to Gaza. You think they give a fuck about those kids in Gaza? No. What do they care about is, oh no, a synagogue someone rammed their truck in it. I went, that's a fucking psyop.
So this is again from Middle East Eye. Democrats are demanding investigations of claims that U.S.-Israeli war on Iran is biblical prophecy.
But they're all for the war.
Fucking Christ. The Bible's not real. It was written by men, not of God.
Here's the thing about that. I've always said it was either a holy war or a crusade. It's another way to put it. Like you have Christians.
It is another crusade.
Yeah, Christians and Jews in Israel are basically starting another holy war, or as the Catholics did a crusade against Muslim Arab countries and Muslim countries, in order to murder them all and get Islam out of Europe. But
and guess what? When they're done with the Muslims, then they're going to go after the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
The Jews are stupid. I mean, the Zionists. Sorry. Zionists, you are stupid. Who do you think they're going to go after they're done with the Muslims? They don't like you either.
So
you don't believe in Jesus.
So this claims that commanders told troops Trump was anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
So the president it's a prophet from Jesus, and he was appointed to light the signal fire in Iran. In other words, start a holy war.
Can I just say something that the Christian excluded, because I know, Angel, you are Christian. But did you ever want to piss a Christian off? Just say, you know what? Jesus was a male witch. And I have proof that he did spells.
Look, I go to church every Sunday, but here's the thing: I'm not offended that people. I can't control what other people say. So it's like, you want to say Jesus was a male witch? Okay, that's an interesting theory. I would like to hear more about it.
He used herbs to what he made a blind man see. He used herbs. That's what a witch would do.
Let's see. The black people that support ICE piss me off. There's a lot of black people in ICE too. So that's, and a lot of Puerto Ricans too, in particular.
I was gonna say there's a lot of Puerto Ricans that support ICE.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I got ICE here in my neighborhood, y'all.
Yeah.
If I had known they were here, I was at work, unfortunately. But if I had known they were here, I would have been like filming them. Go ahead, shoot me, motherfuckers, and see how far you get.
You should record
what animals and monsters you are.
If that happens again, record yourself saying it. But keep yourself safe. Don't get yourself in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get shot.
Yeah. So nearly 30 Democrats in Congress are demanding an internal investigation into hundreds of complaints by U.S. troops that the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran has been framed to them as a biblical prophecy to hasten the return of Jesus Christ. So let me explain that prophecy. That's not... Basically, it's Revelations. And the way to start the end times is by building the third temple in Jerusalem. The problem is, where that temple's supposed to go at is the Holy Mount, which is one of the most holy places in Islam. So imagine destroying that just to build a third Jewish temple. That would start the Islam or the Muslims would start a major holy war over that, and then that would probably lead to either a horrible regional war, which will involve bombing. Anyways, it's the same thing that's happening now. Israel's being bombed like crazy, but it would be a lot worse, if they do that. And then also I don't know how the invasion of Iran connects to Revelations. I mean, I've read Revelations, and an invasion of Iran nothing to do with it. Oh, when Jesus comes back, well, what the first thing he does? He kills all the Jews, unless they convert to Christianity. Then they'll be fine.
That's what I said. But I'm sorry, Max, about the mic. There's nothing I can do about it. It's my headset. So So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they're done with the Muslims, who do you think the Christians are going to go after? Hello.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're
The letter to the Department of War's Inspector General was obtained by the news site.
Oh God, another letter.
On Friday, and signed by several progressives, including Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, Minnesota Congressman Ilhan Omar, and Washington State Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal.
Stop calling them progressives.
No, that's listed in the article, but I agree. Where's AOC's?
I wasn't talking to you. I was just saying.
Yeah, where's AOC's signature on this? Apparently, she didn't even bother signing this, so she's definitely running for president because she's not putting her name or any of this stuff.
I think
House Speaker
is going to run for president.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did, based on using Charlie's death as a political trampoline to higher office, because Trump already hired her to be in the Air Force, basically. So why would he do that unless she has intentions of running for higher office at some point? Commanders have revoked religious prophecy and apocalyptic theology to justify the United States military's action in Iran, it said. If accurate, these outrageous statements justifying a war based on the interpretation of Bible prophecies and informing troops that they are risking their lives to advance a specific religious vision raises not only glaring constitutional concerns, but potential violations of Department of Defense regulations regarding religious neutrality and breaches of professional obligations and standards expected of military leadership. The lawmakers wrote, referring to the Department of War by its previous name. So allegedly, it continues. Hold on. They further asked if such statements were part of a broader political climate in which the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and senior civilian officials have publicly framed Middle East policy in explicitly religious terms. Hegseth himself famously wear a tattoo of Crusader cross on his chest, as well as the word kafir in Arabic on his arm, a term used in Islam to refer to unbelievers of the oneness of God. So Hegseth he's a religious extremist, so I'm not surprised that he would approve this if this is true. His donning of Christian nationalist symbols were a source of controversy well before a Senate hearing last year to confirm him to the top civilian role at the Pentagon. This was among other scandals involving sexual assault, alcoholism, and racism. Vice President J.D. Vance. Yep. So Vice President J.D. Vance had to step in and become the tie-breaking vote in the Senate, making it 51-50 in Hegseth's favor. So he barely got through because of J.D. Vance. Last week, Hegseth told CBS News program 60 Minutes that he thinks soldiers should pray before battle. They need a connection to their almighty God, he said. We're fighting religious fanatics who seek a nuclear capability in order for some religious Armageddon. But from my perspective, obviously, I'm a man of faith who encourages our troops to lean into their faith and rely on God.
Rely on God for what? I hate to break it to you, but God don't stop bullets, bastards.
This keeps going. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation, blah, 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 told Middle East Eye last week they received more than 200 complaints from personnel serving in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps, and Space Force. Michael Weinstein, a veteran of the U.S. Air Force and the Reagan White House, told MEE that his organization was continuing to be inundated with complaints from serving U.S. military personnel who had been told that they should be excited to be a part of the war in Iran, as it would bring out Armageddon and the return of Jesus Christ.
Oh, shut up.
This is a one rogue commander pointing to the growing influence of Christian nationalists and fundamentalists in the U.S. military. Democrats are now demanding to know where such communications originated within the chain of command, whether they constitute violations of religious neutrality, what the scope and geographic distribution of complaints received within the Pentagon are, whether soldiers have feared retaliation within their units, and if training in the military always adheres to the rule of religious neutrality. So if the Democrats regain the House...
I said you're an idiot. I mean, literally, yeah. The thing is, okay, so you think you think the soldiers should use their faith? Well, then get off your fucking dead ass, your fucking fat ass, to the war yourself. You ain't taking my kid to no war, and he ain't dying for Israel. You don't even believe in Israel. You don't fucking believe in God and Jesus. So go suck a dick. You guys in Congress, you guys want all these fucking wars, then you can fight them instead of sending our kids to die. Send your own kids to die.
So, what if the Democrats retake the House, which is what we all expect? This is what they will be investigating. They'll be investigating Epstein. They'll be investigating whether the commanders talk about religious fervor and religious extremists while they're training U.S. military troops. They'll be investigating Trump over Ukraine and Russia. They'll impeach him again. So this is what we look forward to in 2027 and 2028. Also,
So
the
basically
presidential
business
race
as
is
usual.
starting. Yeah. And the presidential race will be starting. So look forward to that too from 2027 and 2028, the primaries. So not going to be a fun time. Let's see. So this is from Al Ariba English. So this is oil tops $100 as Iran attacks offset IEA stockpile release. Oil surged above $100 and stocks sank on Thursday as Iran's fresh attempts to hit supplies in the Middle East and threats to bring down the global economy overshadowed a record release of strategic crude by the International Energy Agency. The IEA said Wednesday that its members have agreed to unlock 400 million barrels of oil from their reserves, the largest release ever. But the move was unable to overcome fears about choking the energy supplies from the Middle East with the Strait of Hormuz through a fifth of global crude paths effectively shut down. As Iran steps up attempts to disrupt supplies across the region, 2 tankers in Iraqi waters were reportedly struck on Thursday. I did see that. Thursday, Bahrain reported that Iran had carried out an attack on fuel tanks in the country, while Saudi Arabia said it had intercepted drones headed to Shabaa oil field and drone strikes fuel tanks in Oman's Salalah port, where operations were subsequently suspended. And the UK Maritime Agency said in an alert Thursday that a container ship near the United Arab Emirates was hit by an unknown projectile, quote unquote. Brent jumped to a high $101.59 per barrel, while WTI spiked just short of $96. The two had rocketed as much as 30% Monday to peak $120 of oil, $120 per barrel. They both paired the gains, but with hostilities showing no signs of ending. Analysts warned that the $1,900 a barrel could be the new normal for a while. Iran said it was ready for a long war of attrition, that it would destroy the world economy, threatening any vessels from the United States or its allies. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps threatened Wednesday to strike economic centers and banks linked to the U.S. and Israeli interests. The two must consider the possibility that they'll be engaged in a long-term war of attrition that would destroy the entire American economy and the world economy. Ali Fardawi, an advisor to the Guard's commander-in-chief, told state television. So, as I've said before, this is going to be a long war of attrition and a long war of guerrilla warfare tactics. It's like it was in Vietnam. So, yeah, that's what we got to look forward to.
And poor people are going to suffer, and rich people are going to be just fine.
Yeah, because that $90 to $100 a barrel for oil that's going to raise gas prices, and it already has. I've noticed it.
Already has, yeah. My dad said a couple weeks ago that it was like $3.09. Now it's like $3.47. It's almost $3.50 again.
Yeah.
Well, here in PA. Sorry, I don't know about the rest of you.
This is why. Did I already read this? Hold on. Let me see. No, I haven't. Not yet. So this is Trump's plan to release another 172 million barrels from oil reserves would cut U.S. energy backstop by over 40%. Get rid of that video. The Trump administration this past week announced that the U.S. portion of a historic worldwide release of government oil in response to the war of Iran, announcing plans to sell 172 million barrels of oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve to steady global markets. The process scheduled to begin this coming week and take approximately 120 days, but constitute a drop in more than 40% of America's energy backstop and leave the reserve at levels not seen since the early 1980s. What happened in the early 80s was the Iran, the embargo. Iranians wouldn't sell us oil, so under Jimmy Carter. So that's why
Right.
they had to get rid of they had to get rid of most of the strategic oil that the U.S. has, and their what was that called? U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve. They had to get rid of a lot of it because the Iranians wouldn't sell us oil. So yeah, now here we go again. I'm surprised they haven't done an embargo again. That popping drawdown.
I'll give
I
you
still
any
see.
ideas.
Yeah, we see back in the 70s. We saw the cars, at gas stations, and gas stations saying no gas.
We
It's really
didn't, but
bad.
the people who are older
Yeah,
than,
so, yeah, they
40-ish.
were around. Yeah, we're not old enough here to remember
No, we're
that,
not
but
old
yeah,
enough here.
yeah.
Sorry. We didn't come till 86 and
hmm
91.
The eye-popping drawdown still represents a smaller amount than what was taken out during President Biden's term at the beginning of the Russia war in Ukraine. Trump has long criticized that release and vowed to replenish it, even as he made slow progress refilling during the first 14 months in office. Now his attacks on Iran has flipped the equation, a remarkable turnabout for Trump, who downplayed the chances of releasing oil in response to the crisis just a few days ago. Latest government data shows that 413 million barrels of oil in the reserve, removing 172 million of them, would take it down to a level last seen in 1982, just 5 years after the reserve came online. The announcement of the release was met with some skepticism that the entirety of the promised withdrawal would actually take place if tensions and oil prices subside. Questions also are emerging about how much it would help in the short term, as tensions stay elevated. The whole point of that is not to help us; it's to sell it to global markets so Wall Street can make more money.
They're here.
Uh, Crude oil prices actually rose following the announcement, with international benchmark Brent crude ending the week at oil of $100 per barrel after declines earlier in the week. For now, at least, the Middle East remains mired in a conflict that has been widening in recent days. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed. Iran has escalated its attacks on energy infrastructure across the region, and Iraq has closed its oil port terminals after strikes on 2 tankers off its coast. The International Energy Agency announced Wednesday that the group of 7 nations agreed to release a combined 400 million barrels of oil, the largest on record, in response to tensions. In total, the IEA estimates that its members, including the United States, hold over 1.2 billion barrels of oil in emergency stockpiles, meaning this planned release would drain the global reserves by a third. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, withdrawals could be more limited. Long history of presidential withdrawals. Since the U.S. Reserve came online in 1977, most presidents have tapped it, especially after the initial buildup under Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. We just discussed that. In fact, four of the last 5 presidents have left office with less than the oil reserves than when they entered. Those withdrawals were due to both direct presidential actions and congressional mandated withdrawals, with lawmakers often looking to oil sales as a way to pay for other priorities. George W. Bush added to the reserve during his tenure, but Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Trump in his first term, and Biden oversaw a lower SPR level than when they left Washington when their terms began. I said when twice. Biden's withdrawal were the most dramatic. The year after the war broke out in Ukraine, the SPR reached its lowest level in recent history, down by over 200 million barrels of oil between January 2021 and June 2023. Then a slow restocking started. At the end, Biden left office with 243 million fewer barrels of oil in the reserve than when he entered. Yeah, Trump is desperately trying to. I'm not going to read this, but I just want to see. Yeah, I'm not going to read that. Yeah, there you go. Gas prices will be going up, and there's nothing we can do about it, basically. Bad Cookie says, I thought Trump's real baby bill was supposed to make us self-sufficient and independent from other countries. Well, we would be independent if the U.S. didn't sell all of our oil to other markets. Like if we kept like a half our oil supply or half of what we produce in oil, we could actually be self-sufficient and not actually buy from Iran or Russia or Venezuela. But we don't do that. We sell most of our oil, which is why we have to buy from other countries. Let's see here. We'll get to Witchy stories in a moment here. Corporate media goes all out in support for U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. This is from Alan McLeod at Mint Press News. Corporate media of all stripes have rushed to support the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran, throwing objectivity and accuracy by the wayside in order to manufacture consent for regime change. Where have we seen this before? We all seen this movie with Iraq, with the invasion. Oh no, Iraq. Right. They had weapons of mass destruction. They had Saddam Hussein was an evil guy. He's an evil guy. Evil guy. We have to invade. And they're part of the axis of evil. Here we go again. The media is falling for this again, and then in about 10 years, they'll be apologizing for doing propaganda for us. Some media outlets have not apologized to this day, but who cares? On February 28th, the U.S. and Israel launched a joint attack on Iran, bombing cities across the country, assassinating his supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, and openly stating their goal was overthrowing the government. Despite this, the media has gone out of their way to present the actions of the U.S. protecting itself, describing them as defensive strikes and to frame Iran as the aggressor. Iran chooses chaos, ran the headline of the New York Times newsletter, portraying the Islamic Republic as the primary actor. By the way, New York Times is supposed to be the paper of record, but they're lying, as usual. So the paper of record is lying, ladies and gentlemen. The Free Press used similarly Orwellian concepts. War is Iranians' best chance at peace, presenting the U.S. and Israeli crimes as an act of mercy on its long-suffering population. Meanwhile, under a new leadership of self-described Zionist fanatic Barry Weiss, CBS News has transformed itself into a mouthpiece for Israeli Defense Forces, interviewing IDF Brigadier General Efi Defrin and uncritically presenting Israel's war as aimed at preventing a wider global threat. Oh, and also Barry Weiss is about to take over CNN too, because Larry Ellison and his companies have bought CNN and Warner Brothers Discovery. So she's probably going to take over CNN too.
TNT, not TNN.
No, I mean they're taking over CNN and TNT and TBS. They're taking over Warner Brothers Discovery.
I thought you were saying TNN. I thought that's what you said.
Oh, that's an old network from years ago, and then it became Spike TV, and now it's Paramount Network. But meanwhile, blah, blah, blah. Across the West, corporate media has employed the same tactics of using passive voice and not naming the perpetrator when describing U.S.-Israeli aggression. A perfect encapsulation was this of the BBC headline, at least 153 dead after a reported strike on schools. That made it sound as the children died in a lightning strike or a labor dispute, rather than they were bombed by hostile foreign powers. Israeli casualties were given more sympathetic coverage than their Iranian counterparts, while the media regularly toned down the language used to describe Israeli action to make them sound more reasonable, and did the opposite with Iran. The Washington Post, for example, and wrote, emphasis added, Israel urges evacuation of South Beirut suburbs. Iran threatens revenge on U.S. over warships. Thus, Israel is treated as making a good faith attempt to reduce civilian casualties, while the Iranian response to their ship being attacked and sunk in international waters presenting as menacing. Another common tactic of legitimization media uses to describe the Iranian as a regime. Bloomberg, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, CNN, and NBC News did this. The word regime immediately discredits the government and cues the reader to oppose it. The phrase Israeli regime is virtually never used, unless it's a quote from Iranian officials. So the correct regime basically implies like dictatorship or something like that, which is a negative connotation, which is why they all use it. Earlier this week, large number is Witchy gone? Because I guess she's like needed to do something.
I didn't fall asleep.
Oh, okay, there you are. It's like
I'm
haven't said anything in a while.
I'm quietly listening to your beautiful voice.
Okay. It's too small. I already read that. Here we go. Earlier this week, large numbers of Israeli troops reinvaded southern Lebanon again. Media attempted to find ways to present the operation as legitimate, including enthusiastically using the phrase "crossed over into Lebanon," which to describe the invasion, or even blaming Hezbollah for the violence. CNN, for instance, wrote that Hezbollah is dragging Lebanon into a war of Iran. Imagine when Barry Weiss takes over CNN, how bad. This is going to be so much worse than what it is right now. Hezbollah just restarted the fight that Israel is waiting to finish, thereby flipping the realities of who is attacking whom. There have been a number of fawning profiles of Israeli leaders. Benjamin Netanyahu's long career was built on conflict avoidance. That's not true. See, that's the exact opposite. Then October 7th transformed and radicalized him. It's a total lie. Benjamin Netanyahu was the one who testified in Congress about how we need to invade Iraq. And that was 25 years ago? And so he's been a warmonger his entire career. This isn't like October 7th, radicalized him. He's been radicalized for decades. Wrote The Atlantic and Britain, the coverage from some quarters even more positive. Netanyahu is the great war leader of our age. So what? He's like Winston Churchill? I mean, come on. The average Daily Telegraph stated that describing the prime minister as a quote unquote genius. There you go. Even Daily Telegraph is like, he's a genius. The Daily Telegraph's Monday front page headline read, quote, Britain backs war on Iran, unquote, with a picture of diaspora Iranians cheering on the bombing of their country. The reality, however, is far less jingoistic. A YouGov poll published the same day found that only 28% of UK citizens support U.S.-Israeli actions. That's really high. I mean, I expect them to be lower. And with 49% expressing their opposition to them. Nevertheless, the BBC anchor Nick Robinson suggested on air that the protests against the U.S.-Israeli attacks should be banned across the UK. By the way, the UK doesn't have a First Amendment, so they've been censoring like crazy, especially if you talk about Israel. So, even though here in the U.S. we're trying to do the same thing. So, a lot of states is actually illegal to criticize Zionists. If you do criticize Zionists, then you can't get government loans, you can't get government benefits or anything like that.
I mean, they're literally trying to do that here.
Yeah.
Look at every time they, you can't say anything about Zionists. I'll say whatever I want. You don't like it, go suck a dick. I'm going to go to the ladies' room. I'll be right back.
Yeah. This sort of mentality should come as no surprise, given the BBC's leadership stated positions on Israel. The corporation's Middle East editor, Rafi Berg, is a former CIA operative and Mossad collaborator who had signed a letter of recommendation for Netanyahu on his office wall. So Netanyahu had the BBC hire a former Mossad collaborator and sign a letter of recommendation for him. Of course, the BBC hired him because they do exactly what Israel wants them to do. Anonymous BBC employee speaking to Dropsite News I hate how everybody's speaking to Dropsite News. Ryan Grimm wrote blatant lies, and they're still like, he has this credibility that everybody goes to him. Claimed that Berg's entire job is to water down everything that's too critical of Israel. They went on to allege that he holds quote unquote wild amount of power at the British state broadcaster. That there exists a culture of extreme fear at the BBC about publishing anything critical of Israel. And that Berg himself plays a key role in turning its coverage into systematic Israeli propaganda. The BBC has disputed these claims. Well, obviously, why would you hire a former Mossad agent or collaborator in order to, lead your Middle East coverage and Israel coverage? That's what's going to happen. If true, the sort of top-down pro-Israel bias in BBC closely mirrors that of American outlets. A leaked 2023 New York Times memo revealed that company's management explicitly instructed its reporters not to use words such as quote-unquote genocide, quote slaughter, and quote ethnic cleansing when discussing Israel's actions. Times staff must refrain from using words like quote-unquote refugee camps, quote-unquote occupied territory, or even quote Palestine in their reporting. So they can't use Palestine, they can't use occupied territories, they can't use refugee camps, they can't use anything. And I'm assuming this memo is still active in the New York Times. So, because I don't read the New York Times, obviously, but making it almost impossible to convey some of those basic facts to their audience. CNN employees face similar pressures in the wake of October 7th attacks. The company CEO, Mark Thompson, sent out a memo to all staff instructing them to make sure that Hamas, and not Israel, is presented as responsible for the violence. that they always must use the moniker Hamas-controlled when discussing the Gaza Health Ministry and their civilian death figures, and barring them from any reporting of Hamas's viewpoints, which its senior director of news standards and practices told staff was not newsworthy and amounted to inflammatory rhetoric and propaganda. That's an irony because that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing it in the opposite to protect Israel. Imagine when Barry Weiss takes over CNN. It's going to be so much worse than what it is right now. Let's see. German media conglomerate Axel Springer, meanwhile, owner of outlets such as Politico and Business Insider, requires its employees to sign what amounts to a loyalty oath to support the Transatlantic Partnership Alliance and Israel. The company fired a Lebanese employee who, throughout internal channels, questioned the requirement. Oh, I forgot the German company actually bought Politico and Business Insider. American newsrooms are also filled with former Israeli lobbyists. A Mint Press news investigation found hundreds of former employees of Israeli lobbying groups, such as AIPAC, Stand With Us, and Camera, working in top newsrooms across the country, writing and producing America's news, including on Israel-Palestine. These outlets include MSNBC, the New York Times, CNN, and Fox News. MSNBC is now MS Now, but, we get the point. There are even ex-Israeli spies writing our news. Another Mint Press report revealed that a network of former agents at IDF intelligence outfit Unit 8200 working within America's newsrooms, including at CNN again and Axios. Therefore, with American newsroom presided over and staffed by no small part by pro-Israel zealots, it's far from a surprise their coverage closely mirrors and outlooks the biases of Washington and Tel Aviv. And now CNN, CBS News, and TikTok, owned by CIA asset Larry Ellison, the IDF's largest private funder and a close personal friend of Benjamin Netanyahu, we should only expect the propaganda to be dialed up to 11. There you go. He's actually Larry Ellison and his son, now is going to own most of our press, including CBS News, CNN, TNT, TBS, all of Warner Brothers Discovery, basically. So
I told you so. I told you so. It's all bullshit and it's all bad for you.
He's in his 80s, and he looks like he had so much plastic surgery that his face is kind of like plastic. So that's Larry Ellison.
Like Cher. Doesn't Cher look like that?
Yeah. She's in her 80s, too, I think. And she has so much plastic surgery that her face
looks like her head's about to cave in. Yeah.
If you want to look at someone who did plastic surgery right, look at Rob Lowe.
I have a V tweet. I remember his V tweet. They shared it on. I think they used to do it on. Oh God, what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel. They used to have that meme tweet section or Chime, right? And it was Rob Lowe. You look so ugly. Your face looks like skin cancer. That's. I was like, yes.
I'll let I'm gonna play one more video that Alex sent, and then I'll let Witchy read her article because I'm pretty much done.
Here we go.
So this is the other one Alex sent me. Mayor Mamdani says his wife Rama Duwali was not aware of anti-Israel posts like calling some Israel citizens parasites from an author she illustrated an essay for. Let's see. Mamdani calls that rhetoric reprehensible and said his wife booked a gig through a third party. So kind of throwing her under the bus here. Look at her face. Like she's not really happy what he's doing here, but I can tell a woman's face.
Oh, that's a marriage in name only.
Uh-huh. So let's see Mamdani throwing his wife under the bus here and embarrassing her to protect his political career.
I smell divorce.
Before she took that job, and do you think that type of rhetoric is acceptable about him?
I think that rhetoric is patently unacceptable. I think it's reprehensible. And as is common for freelance illustrators,
and he's got a suck
commissioned to illustrate an excerpt of a book by a third party. She's never engaged with or met with the author, nor had she seen the tweets that you're referring to. And we stand in our administration, and I can tell you our administration is separate from the First Lady.
He was the editor.
Within it, against bigotry of all
He gets
forms.
the final
And we
say.
do so unflinchingly because every single viewer deserves a place that they can call home without having to be wary of being their full self when they do so.
Well, there you go. And he gets
By the way,
clapped
you
after that.
gotta put in that trans flag there too.
Yeah, of course. His wife is not happy with him. As you see in her face, is like
That's not his wife.
Who is his wife then? Why would he?
It's the one with. Just look up images of his wife. She looks different. She has different hair. She has a different face. You'll see.
Oh, so his wife's not even there. But whoever this woman is not happy with him either. So, okay.
Just
So now
Mandani's wife. You'll see who it is.
Okay. So now,
Like I said, I called the first.
If you're ready, Richie, I could let you read one of those articles you want to read.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's all I have pretty much. So, I gotta improve it. Okay.
You are the boss.
Oh, hold on. I have to actually do this. There you go.
Ooh, can everybody see that?
We can see it.
Okay. All right, so here we go. Google is handing data of ICE critics to DHS. This is our wonderful Descent in Bloom. This is my sister from another mother. So yeah, I totally agree with this because again, if you don't know by now, I don't know if you're living under a rock, but Google has been literally collecting data and giving it to the highest bidder so that they can literally track everything you fucking do, and they can give you, make your digital footprint and your digital ID, and then you have a CBDC, you'll have digital currency and stuff like that, and you will basically owe nothing, and you will be happy, and you will eat your bugs. So let's get more into this. For many Americans, Google is not just a company; it is a shadow that follows them. I agree completely. Again, it all stems back to your little digital print, and they want to track you. Again, rich people are not interested in their own lives; they're more interested in what you're doing and who you're fucking. So, I mean, this is really scary, guys. I can't tell you. I almost signed up for Facebook, and I think. Excuse me, Angel knows this. I was like, they want to scan my face. Why do they want to scan my face? Because they want to know everything about you. They want to track what I do on Facebook, even though I would only use Facebook for my shows. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting back on Facebook.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. I mean, I have my account since like 2008 or 9. With the newer account, they're demanding face ID basically. So I barely use my Facebook, but I still have it. So Bad Cookie says real quick, I can see Alex swiping right a lot in that Tinder app.
Not on Tinder.
Hey now, if he wants to suck a dick, let him. No, I'm kidding, little brother.
Well, he's not on Grindr, he's at Tinder.
No, I'm on X.
Wait, I don't know the difference. Isn't Tinder a gay one too?
Yeah, Grindr is like the gay one.
Grindr's the gay one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if Alex finds a good-looking girl and he likes to eat pussy, sure, I'd say. Anyway, all right, let's get this straight. If you have an Android, which I do, I have a Samsung 24 Ultra. They've been trying to talk me into a 26 Ultra, but I'm kind of like, no, I think I'll pay my bill first.
Well, I have the S21 Ultra. I'm planning to upgrade to upgrade the S26 Ultra.
I had an Ultra 21. It was not bad, but I like I do like the Ultra 24. I'm going, Ultra 26.
I have the iPhone, but it's by iPhone. It's like just like like Google wants to do.
Yes. So Apple has some kind of something similar to Google, I'm sure, with Safari. Okay, so if you use Google Chrome or if you use Google Search, it records every search, every email, every location ping, every app downloaded, every photo you take. Oh, that's scary as shit because, like, literally, Can you imagine taking in like the dirtiest pictures and Google's looking at it going, shit.
Yeah.
Every late night purchase, every quiet curiosity, it remembers what we forget. But that shadow stretches further. Google also runs the cloud infrastructure government agencies use, of course. So they can get all your data, so they know exactly what you're doing, exactly who you're fucking, exactly what you're eating, and you're eating poison. I don't have to tell you that.
They basically, instead of creating our own cloud infrastructure, the government just pays Google to do it for them. It's like
right. They are their bitch boys. Well, and not only that, but like there are many CEOs that are coming out publicly and saying, I'm not going to let my kids eat that. I'm not going to let my kids drink that because they know it's poison. They know that. Yeah. They're not stupid. Even if it made them rich, they're still poison. All right, more of this. It stores our metadata until investigators request it. Mm-hmm. And even builds artificial intelligence systems that can sift through human lives at a scale no person ever could. They told us that it was only for advertising. Bullshit. Lying sacks of shit. That the massive amounts of data that they've stored on us stayed inside the company because no corporation would ever jeopardize its edge. Liars. Self-interest would keep us safe. Yeah, okay, suck a dick. And greed was framed as safeguard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, safeguard. You don't get, if you give up your security if you give up your freedom because you want a little bit of security, you don't deserve any of it. I'm paraphrasing, but someone said it. Now with the big tech's alignment with the Trump administration, that very logic collapses. The same private data that once mined for profit is slowly becoming positioned as a tool of governance. Yes, they can use your data against you to deny you health care. They can literally sell you things that you don't need. Not to mention, they're poisoning us with our water and food supply. Hence why I said it's bullshit. For Google, that shift is subtle, layered in administrative subpoenas from DHS, government contracts with CBP, and complex legal infrastructure structured just carefully enough to preserve plausibility and deniability. Again, they can, so if the government thinks, or not thinks, but if the government says you committed a crime, then literally they can subpoena the DHS, or the DHS can subpoena, or whatever local government or the government can literally subpoena that data and try to pin a crime on you. They did it to, I was watching, what was I watching the other day? Harvard Law, look him up on, it's Jeff something or other. I think I sent a link to you, Angel, or not a link to you, but I sent like a video of, you know, if anyone says ICE is just doing their job, yeah, you show them this video. He's a great lawyer. He talks about the legal side of things and how to do that. The thing is, they literally had a guy's face on camera and was using AI, and he had ID. I mean, this guy, they literally pinged him as this person who was trespassing or who was no longer supposed to be on the premises, and literally used AI and said, okay, yes, that's the same person. It's 100% right. Well, first of all, no AI is ever 100% right, and if they are, they're lying. Second of all, they're scanning a bunch of faces, and he talks about this. They're taking a database of millions and millions and billions of faces, and they're putting it, I mean, because we all have doppelgangers, or what we call doppelgangers. If you don't know the term, it's just German for, like, you have a twin out there. We all have people that look similar to each other. Michael Jordan. What's Michael Jordan have to do with anything? Okay. So, there's... So what he was trying to reiterate is The police arrested this guy even though he had ID. He had a driver's license that had him on a different name. They could have ran it through their system and proved that it was real, but they, on their stupid hunches, I guess, or on their gut feelings, because like cops think they have gut feelings and they think they're fucking psychics, literally went on their gut feeling. They didn't run it through any specs or nothing and said, it's a fake ID with a different name. And they took that guy to jail. He was a totally separate, different guy. He wasn't the guy that they said it was. He had a driver's license. He had credit cards in his name. Again, it doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter. The cops don't give a fuck. They only care that, they found their guy, right? Because AI said so. So that's what I'm saying. They can take pictures of your face and put it up against a database of other faces and say, well, it's close enough. It's 99%. So we'll just take it to jail. That's what we're fighting against, guys. They're taking all this data so they can literally send it to the government and they think you've done a crime and now they arrest you. And now, again, this is a society of you are guilty until proven innocent, not the other way around. Okay. Department of Homeland Security wants your data. This week it was exposed that the Department of Homeland Security has sent hundreds of administrative subpoenas to Google, Reddit, Meta, which is Facebook, and the others, demanding that these platforms unmask the identities of accounts that track ICE activity. So if you are literally trying to show what ICE is doing, they will come after you. This is what I'm talking about. You are guilty until proven innocent, guys. They are also demanding that the platforms report anyone expressing anti-ICE sentiment directly to the government. You know what? Fuck ICE. Come after me, bro. I dare ya. Over the last decade, Google has overwhelmingly complied with millions of government requests for user data, and those requests have been climbing for 5 years. There is no rule. I will repeat that. There is no rule requiring platforms to tell you when it happens, and many people never find out.
No.
Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but there is that's really big. But there's like okay, that didn't get any better, did it?
No, it's
Nope.
really small,
Okay.
but whatever.
That's really small.
Like global request for information, but it looks like it says.
Yeah, so if you want to check out that, you're going to have to check that out on Dissident in Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Amanda Thomas Johnson, a journalist who advocates for Palestinians, only learned that they had been targeted by DHS weeks after the fact. Google notified Thomas Johnson in April with a brief email informing him that his metadata had already been shared with the Department of Homeland Security. What right do they have? Well, apparently they have every right because no one gives a fuck, and there is no rule for this. They don't have to tell you. There is no rule that they can't share this. Go ahead, Angel, if you want to read that.
Real quick, and it's Americans' legal right to record anything on public land by making it illegal to record the cops against people's rights. Another violation of our rights as they erode. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's in public, you can record anyone for anything. So
that's correct.
There's no expectation of privacy when you're in public. So that includes the police, but they want to make it illegal to record the cops.
That includes ICE as well.
Yeah.
That includes it includes everybody. But they're trying to slowly derail that. And the problem is, like I said, if you go and do what Alex Peretti, sorry, I butchered that.
Peretti, yeah.
Really good. Yeah, Peretti. So if you did what and Peretti, and I was telling my dad this, I said, riddle me this, Batman. If Trump told you tomorrow that you had to give up your gun, would you? And my dad said, no, I wouldn't. I said, but I thought he said he doesn't want people showing up to protests. He doesn't want people carrying in public. He said that was bad. and that you shouldn't bring guns.
Most Trump
My dad
supporters
didn't say
are saying
anything.
yes. Most Trump
Yeah,
supporters say yes now, all of a sudden. See? So,
yes,
they don't believe
guns
in
are
the
bad
Second
now all
Amendment.
of a sudden. Right. These are the people that said to the Democrats, well, you will get my guns out of my cold, dead fingers.
Yeah.
And now they're turning around and saying, yes, yes, Daddy Trump. Yes, I'll give you my gun. I love you. You know, that's what they're doing. That they want to suck that dick. So my dad is not one of them, thankfully.
Yeah.
The damage was done before the message ever arrived. ICE had requested and was given a list of username addresses and itemized lists including NIP masking tools, telephone numbers, subscriber identities, and dedicated accounts. Oh my god! Oh my god! So they can go after you. If you try to show what they are doing, that they are monsters, and they're also child predators, in a big trafficking ring, then literally they will go after you. They will dox you. They are doxing people for their own gain so they can tell you to stop. They can get you to stop. That's, first of all, it's against the law. Actually, it was against the law to do it to rich people, such as politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny? It's, you know, rules for thee, but not for me. That's what I'm talking about. All rich people are literally scum.
As
Okay.
Keith Olbermann would say.
Yes. Yes, requested. This was a request, not legally required. It was a request.
Worse. Yeah, it's worse. You're just handing it over without, no problem. Because the government gives them money. Like for the Google Cloud service, to get billions of dollars to use it. So, of course,
That's
here's
right.
all the information you need. Because you give us money. So go ahead.
That's why I can't. I have to laugh at all my customers who use Google Drive, Dropbox. They use OneDrive. They use iCloud. Again, all these people are being spied on by OneDrive, by Google Drive. Anything you put in a cloud service, and I tell this to customers who do Microsoft OneDrive. Be careful what you put on that cloud service, because I guarantee you someone's looking at it. I just saw a video the other day where they were talking about VPN customers were being spied on by the VPN people who created the VPN in the first place.
To stop from spying.
Again, just because it isn't some big person doesn't mean that it ain't happening. That's why I'm like, well, we're just going to get spied on anyway. You might as well just use Google. Okay. And don't talk to me about DuckDuckGo. They're just as bad. They are spying on their people, trust me, and they are also suppressing information, which is something I also told people, all my customers. Okay, the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the ACLU of Northern California recently wrote to every major tech platform, including Amazon, Apple, Discord, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Reddit, Snap, TikTok, and X, with a single demand: stop complying. But they won't, because they're too busy sucking dick.
Yeah.
So in those minutes, they talked about how DHS subpoenas are unlawful, and the government already knows this, and they don't care, because they don't care about your freedoms. They don't want you to have freedoms. Okay. Which is why when a small number of targeted users challenge those subpoenas in court with the help from the ACLU, they're actually doing good work, affiliates in California. Because ACLU, they were sucking dick there for a while. They were saying, well, you can't have free speech. Okay.
Yeah, that was during the Biden administration.
How much is that stuff now?
Oh, I've lost count by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo is owned by Google. That's why they were allowed to use use DuckDuckGo on the Google service. Bing is the same thing. Okay. So, Let me see. Challenge. Okay, in court to help the ACLU affiliates in California and Pennsylvania, DHS didn't wait for a judge to rule. It withdrew the subpoenas before any decision could have been made. Yeah, because they knew they were going to get.
Know.
Yeah, they knew.
So
they
they
fucking
just
knew.
withdrew them.
Okay, so unlikely a search warrant and administrative subpoena is not approved by a judge. If a technology company refuses to comply, an agency's only recourse is to drop it or go to court and try to convince a judge that the request is lawful, and it's not. So if anyone ever gives you a subpoena, it needs to be signed by a judge. So
this is the trick ICE uses. They use administrative warrants, so that's how they trick people. Oh, we have a warrant. So it's like, okay, they don't know the difference between administrative warrant and a warrant signed by a judge. So
right, and that's the thing. They could come to my door tomorrow, start knocking on it, and be like, "We have a warrant." Okay, we'll slip the warrant under the door. I want to see it. Oh, well, I can't let you see it. Well, then you can't come in my house. And if you break down my door, I will use my Second Amendment right, the PA Stand Your Ground law, which PA does have one. So, again, you need to see the warrant. Do not open that door for anybody. I don't care if it's a fucking cop. Don't answer the door. Do not open the door. Nothing. They have to they have to show the warrant to you. You do not have to open that door. Okay. So, but this is what the federal government is using to compel private companies to unmask its critics by name. It's happening alongside DHS's existing contract with Signal Labs, which is already scanning your social media around the clock using AI. Of course it is. Because, again, I saw something that made me want to puke on X. It was Elon Musk holding a baby. I thought, oh my God, get the baby away from him. He's going to rape it. This data is all fed into Palantir.
Of course it is. They're involved in this as well.
A program used by ICE to identify protesters with face scans during the Minnesota ICE protests, even going as far as following some home. Oh my God, following him home. They're trying us home. Oh, I can't tell you how disturbing that is. Someone follows me home, honey, you're going to get shot. Okay, I don't know who you are, and if I think you're going to break in my house, again, you're going to get shot. So go ahead and try.
This article is written by Descent and Bloom, by the way.
Yes, Descent and Bloom, please follow her. I love her. Again, she's my sister from another mother. Okay, following them home, because it aggressed... sorry. Offensive personal data from phones, phone numbers, physical addresses, names, and more. Again, you get doxxed. You get doxxed. So if you are a dissenter and you're a protester against ICE or you're anti-ICE and you tell ICE to go fuck themselves because they should all go suck a dick and we should all stop them because they're all fucking child molesters and part of a child trafficking ring, they'll probably follow me home one day and they will get shot. I'm telling you right now, I will use that PA stand around law. All right. And in 2026, the department plans to open multiple government-funded facilities running around the clock, dedicated entirely to monitoring what you post online. Oh my God. I'm reading this going, this can't be happening. But it's happening, it's already done. I don't know if I want to go into this. I guess I will. Okay, so, yeah. There was once a moment in history when Google forced the NSA, who tracks everything you do. Okay. The NSA into the light by publicly requesting permission to disclose their surveillance requests, knowing that even acting would expose the pressure behind the scenes as the NSA collected data for PRISM. Another shadow entity.
For years, the government wouldn't admit the NSA existed. For years, so it finally kind of admitted it existed recently. But
well, after Edward Snowden too.
Yeah.
And then Edward Snowden came out and said, "We have a password and we can do whatever we want."
Yep.
It's hard to believe this is the same company. For years, Donald Trump publicly attacked Google almost as often as he attacks immigrants because he's a piece of shit. I say we send Donald Trump back to Scotland where they can just, be child predators altogether. He has accused the company of rigging search results. Oh, go fuck yourself. Suppressing conservatives. Go fuck yourself. And amplifying Obama over him. Yeah, well. Okay, you hit president twice, motherfucker. Shut up. At one point, he openly said that Google was working hand in hand with China. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go with that.
China.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Angel. What were you going to say?
Commies in China, I mean, of course, the fear-mongering about
China.
I love that soundboard.
I didn't hear it. What was the soundboard?
Oh, I just said
China.
it's really low, but he says China.
Oh.
Yeah, China. All right, you can read that his tweet here. Whoops. Sorry about that. You can read his tweet there. I don't have to read the punk. In July 21, in July 2021, Trump filed a class action lawsuit against YouTube, of all freaking things. Google owns this. Yeah, we know. We all know that we all know that we all play, the game of life on YouTube. And we have to play by their freaking rules. And its CEO, Sundar Pichai, I don't know. Something. Pichai? Okay. Claiming his post-January 6th suspension from YouTube, oh, Jesus Christ, amounted to unconstitutional censorship, and they don't give a fuck, and a direct assault on his First Amendment rights, of course. They don't give a fuck about your rights. They only care about theirs.
Yeah.
In 2022, despite banning Trump's YouTube account, Google approved Truth Social for Google Play Store. Truth Social.
Yeah.
And Google settled. I'm sorry, what, Angel?
There's nothing cool about that site.
Yeah, who uses Truth Social? I haven't even looked at that website ever.
I mean, only one I know is Trump. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like me and Instagram. I've never touched that shit, and I'm not going to. Oh, well, it's Jesus Christ because I don't believe in him. He's the male witch to me. Anyway, Google settled that YouTube lawsuit, giving Trump $24.5 million in September 2025. That same month, the company was forced to implement remedies in the antitrust case it had lost to the Department of Justice in July of that year. Google CEO later thanked Trump for the antitrust resolution. He didn't do it for anything other than his own fucking ego. During the billionaire's dinner at the Oval Office. Yeah, he probably got on his knees and blew him. All right, anyway. But the alignment did not begin there. If anything, to formalize what was already in motion. I'm not going to say this guy's name again, but in 2024, Sundar, or Sadar, whatever the hell his name is, Google CEO and board member of its parent company, Alphabet Inc., had already met with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. All sexual predators, I'm sure. All child traffickers. Yes, yes. In January 2025, Google donated $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund. I see a pattern here. It was not alone. Uber, Amazon, Robinhood, Chevron, and Pilgrim's Pride all made similar contributions for the same amount or more. So again, one hand washes the other. With both flow.
Real quick, that inauguration was beginning of the tech overtaking of this country, and the beginning of implementation of AI and everything that we do. it put like what's what I'm looking for. It put like it put it in hyperdrive basically. The AI takeover. That was the
Look
beginning
at
of the end.
Bad Cookie's response, not the second one.
I thought
True
was
Social
Nick
was.
Fuentes to pick up dudes.
He probably does. He probably does. Ew. Okay, so Google also donated billions to Trump's ballroom fund in 2025. Of course, he wanted a gold ballroom instead of helping out poor people on the streets. Because fuck poor people, right? Okay. Across Silicon Valley, the numbers seem to be...
harder. We'll get it done.
Yeah, exactly. Vote harder. The number seemed to settle at around the same figure, $1 million or more. Nearly every major tech player contributed at that level, often paired with personal donations from their CEOs. Companies like Perplexity AI, C3 AI, NVIDIA, think that's how you say that? JP Morgan Chase, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Bank of America, BlackRock, Coinbase, Goldman Sachs, and even Adobe. Oh my God!
You could say Golden Socks.
Sachs. Goldman Sachs.
I always liked when I used to like Bill Maher when he was actually.
Oh my God!
He actually was Bill Maher at the time.
Now.
Yeah, he's terrible now.
Bill Maher.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, he's definitely terrible. But he used to be the voice of reason back in the day when he used to like Bernie Sanders, and we all thought Bernie Sanders. Yeah. So it's been a long time since he's.
By the way, Bernie is still tweeting about it's just Netanyahu and not Israel.
Oh God, yeah. He's trying to blame just Netanyahu.
He's a Zionist.
Israel had the right to defend itself.
Right, like he has a right to go fuck off. And it paid off. They knew it would. You could see it in their faces at the 2025 inauguration. Google CEO among them, the CEO of Google, Sundar, or Suckadikdar, officially reached billionaire status in 2025. And Palantir just boasted to their shareholders that 2025 was their highest earning fiscal year yet. And they are the pieces of shit.
They'll keep growing.
Can TGA 6 please come out already?
November, 2 months away.
Yeah. So I'm not going to read all of this, but there's more to this. If you want to read, again, just please go to the Set in Blue.
It's long and detailed, so that's why it'll take it like 15 minutes left, and it'll take longer than that to read it. So,
well, I want to go to the next one. So it's Americans keep saying this feels like Nazi Germany. If you don't mind, you can read a couple of things if you want. While I get this up.
I mean, I'm pretty much done unless there's something.
Bernie would respond to you, Alex, but he's too busy helping change his good friend Joseph.
Yeah, I already had just a few stories because I've been pretty busy this week, and I'm continue to be busy. So, I don't have much else. So go ahead, yeah.
Can everyone see that, or is it too small?
No, I see it well.
You see it well, okay. All right, so this one is Americans keep saying this feels like Nazi Germany. That is not quite right.
Is it way worse than Nazi Germany?
We're going to find out. We'll see what the Sentinel says. We have a habit in this country of looking at the monsters of history through a telescope, convinced that they are a world away. When we see the heavy state, the raids, the cages, the Department of Homeland Security shadow falling over the vulnerable, we cry that it looks like the Gestapo. In our defense, though, it kind of is because ICE is literally killing people. That's what the Gestapo did. If you didn't do what the Nazis wanted, they would either throw you into a camp. If anyone gets to see the movie Swing Kids, which I think is a great representation, and because I took German in high school, I took 4 years of it. We actually got to sit in class and watch the Swing Kids. It has Christian Bale in it, he becomes a Nazi. I forgot the other two who were in it.
Is that the one that also featured the actor from House? I don't remember his name.
Hugh Laurie?
No, the other one. Who played his House's friend.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I forget.
Yeah,
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I think so. Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
three
saw that
friends.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's about 3 friends. The one kid becomes what they call a swing kid. He wouldn't become a Nazi. Christian Bale becomes a Nazi, and there's a crippled friend who actually he deletes himself.
Yeah, that movie
it's very,
came
very
out,
sad.
That movie came out like in the 90s, right?
Right. Because by 2000, and I was in German 2 or German 3, I think. So I was either a sophomore or a junior in high school when we watched it, and it was very, very sad at the end, especially when the crippled gentleman deletes himself.
I saw the movie in high school.
Excuse me. It told the true story of what was happening around 1930s and 40s in Germany. Kristallnacht, which is the night where the Nazis literally stormed the place and broke all the Jews' windows and stuff. That actually happened. That was real. So there are things that are like the Gestapo and like the Nazis did to the Jews that are happening here in the United States. So, but let's read on. Okay. So they say that we're becoming Nazi Germany. But there is a far more terrifying truth. Hitler didn't build his hell from scratch. He didn't have to. He looked across the Atlantic and he saw us. A lot of the Nuremberg trials, I think in the 1950s, or the later 40s and early 50s, a lot of the Nazis who were captured and then were on trial during those Nuremberg trials literally said, well, we watched you and how you treated the Native Americans. The U.S. We watched the U.S. and we saw how you treated the Native Americans. So the United States has no room to cry, oh, well, how could this happen? It happened because literally this is what was supposed to happen. This is what the rich people want. They want you to bow down to them. They want you to worship them. They want you to have no rights. They want you to own nothing, be happy, and eat the bugs. You sheeple. Okay. See, the road to the Holocaust did not begin in Berlin. That's true, it didn't. It passed through lecture halls, grant committees, and the Ivy League institutions of America. Yeah, Hitler came to power by an election. He was Chancellor of Germany. So people voted for him because he was saying all the right things, just like Trump did when he got elected twice. Just like every politician does. Okay, long before 2026, America had already proven that they believed some lives are worth less than others through eugenics programs. You think just because that stopped supposedly stopped at the end of World War II? No, it just went underground, baby. It just went underground. This is what every rich person believes. They believe that the poor people are inferior and the rich are literally superior. They think otherwise, because if you were superior, you would already be rich, right? Poor people are inferior. Us rich people, we are superior to you, or otherwise you would have money. You would be rich. Laws targeting Native Americans. Like I said, during the Nuremberg trials, this is what they literally looked at America and said, well, us Nazis took the quote from you. We learned from you. And Jim Crow laws. In the early 1900s, Yale stood at the center of American eugenics. Remember that there were people here like Henry Ford. I think, oh geez, I'm forgetting his name now. Not Hearst. Not Randolph Hearst. Some rich guys. They have some rich guys. But anyway, there was a gentleman who's rich, and I can't think of his damn name now. who actually paid the okay. Anyway,
Henry Ford. You talking about Henry Ford?
No, not Henry Ford. The one who paid the mainstream media to say good things about him.
Yeah, just kidding.
Well, he was a rich asshole.
Trump?
He hated Japan.
Trump paid the media to say good stuff.
No. This was back before, like, when we still had like newspapers and stuff.
Oh.
Oh God, I can't. Not Hearst, but
Oh yeah, are you talking about
Rothschild?
Oh,
William
Randolph Hearst. William Randolph Hearst owned all the newspapers in the U.S. pretty much.
Okay, then it was him. So Hearst literally paid off the newspapers to make himself look good, but he was actually a monster. He hated poor people. Like, he treated poor people like as if they were cattle. And he was a real dickhead, a real bastard. Okay, so Yale stood at the center of American eugenics, helping seed the ideology that led to the executions of millions of people. Yes, there were people like Henry Ford, Randolph Hearst, Rothschild, who were literally funding Hitler and funding the Nazis. Again, the rich people agreed with them.
So
the Holocaust,
they attacked Karg Island off the coast of Iran, and that was a red line for the Iranians. So now this war is going to get much worse now than what it is now.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. That's what they wanted. This is what they've coveted for years.
It's the Holy War. It's their Holy War.
Bad Cookies wants to know if he was Vince McMahon before Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon's father was the one who was rich, and then he became rich.
Yeah.
But yes, well, and Vince likes to say, when I grew up as a poor kid, it's like, I grew up as a poor black child, from the jerk, I guess. But Vince has always said he was a self-made millionaire. Now he's a self-made billionaire. But again, just because he grew up poor doesn't mean anything. Vince is a monster. He thinks because he is rich, he can get away with fucking anything.
Triple H is still hurtful today, though.
Well, I saw something I didn't want to see because, again, I don't like Triple H, but I don't want to see this happen to anybody. I saw a match between him and Curtis Axel, who was Joe Hennig, and Triple H collapses. I wonder if that's when he had his heart attack. So I was like, ooh, boy, that's not good. And the worst thing is they kept the camera on him. Usually when someone collapses or has an injury, they take the camera completely off of them. So that was just weird. You can hear the guy go, no, he's gone. He's gone. I'm like, what happened to Joe? Joe's kind of like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, back to this. The Holocaust was not a sudden rupture in human morality. It was the logical endpoint of ideas that had already been rehearsed, funded, and validated in America. Again, look what happened to not only the Native Americans, but during the war itself. What did we do with the Japanese Americans? And they really didn't do anything to us. They just were from Japan. We put them in internment camps and gave them no rights. We did almost the exact same thing that the Nazis did to the Jews in Germany. The only thing is, I think, were we executing Japanese Americans?
Oh, no. Angel, bring up that response.
Which one?
Bad Cookies.
I was going to say the Christopher Columbus thing?
No.
Oh. There you go.
Yeah, I tell Trump to go fuck himself. Royally.
Some of you may die, but as a sacrifice, I'm willing.
I'm willing to.
I gotta get that on my soundboard because it applies to Trump perfectly now.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And yes, if you ever want to hear me cuss and throw having a cussing storm, yes, that's it. Abby, Christopher Columbus is documented as a convert that left because he was dispelled to find another land, and they took black Indians as POWs. He also was a child trafficker and a sexual predator. He was a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, remember that again, there were people here who were already funding Hitler in Germany. But not only that, you had people who were from a different country who had come here to America, were living their lives much like the immigrants. In fact, they were immigrants. They were just from Japan. And what did we do with those people? We stuck them in internment camps. I don't know the kind of horrors that they face, but it's the exact same thing that they did in Germany to the Jews in those not internment camps, but what the hell were they called? Killing camps, basically.
Concentration camps.
Yeah, concentration camps, exactly. It's probably no different. It's probably were killing Japanese
In the
Americans.
fictional world, the only good thing Hitler did was when he signed an autograph for Indiana Jones or whatever that scene was.
Oh, and the Last Crusade, yeah. At the time, these were reviewed as radical ideas, and the danger was in the fact that they were considered respectable.
Oh, he can't use the word
ideas.
radical. That's illegal.
Well, suck a dick. It's what you had said. They were the ideas of important men in high places. Different times, same humanity. Give me a second. Can you stop for me for a sec?
Yeah. So we have a few minutes left. We'll be back next Friday, another episode, Angel in the Afternoon. We'll be no pro wrestling talk this week because we're on a little hiatus for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be doing it on the 21st. Is that correct?
Yeah, the 21st. So. I don't have anything booked. I have family pictures tomorrow, and then the 28th, which is a Saturday, which is for his birthday. He would have been 68. I have Ostara buddy pictures or Easter pictures with my son. So can I just do this part, and then we'll wrap up and call it a night?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, the history book wide. The century-old roots of America's Nazi problem. In school, we were taught a sanitized version of America. Of course we were. We are taught that America had always been the good guy, except for the internment camps we put the Japanese Americans in. The freedom fighter, the country that stepped in when things get bad because freedom matters to us more than anything. If you do not stand for freedom, you are not an American. That's not true. That same framing shows up when we learn about the Holocaust. We are taught that America ultimately stepped in to save Jewish people from Hitler's terror. No. We just stumbled across those camps. I remember being in 7th grade watching The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I
read the book and saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that one, but I saw another one with Kirsten Dunst where she goes back in time because her family is Jewish. She goes back in time, and they put her in a concentration camp, and they end up gassing her. So I saw that when I was in like 10th grade.
That movie that starts with the word M or whatever that was. I don't remember the name of that.
The only thing I haven't seen because I really don't want to see it is Schindler's List. I've been told I should see it, but I don't think I could stomach it because I'm a mother. Okay. So the last few sentences here. I remember the class talking about how shocking it was that America did not step in sooner.
Yeah.
That was the only criticism we could have. They waited too long. We waited too long. We were never taught the full the story. Most people still are not.
Yeah.
So we can read more of that later. I just wanted to read that part. She's
on Substack, Abby. I mean, could you put the link real quick in the chat so she can add her? Check her out more.
Hold on, let me go back there.
Thanks, CBC. Appreciate it. Glad you were able to join us. She's also on YouTube with Snow and Crab. They do Propilled. So
Propilled. There you go.
Let me see whether I could find that. So I'll put it in the chat as well. You guys can subscribe to that and go check her out over there too.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah.
And if you ever do get to talk to her, you tell her that Steph is her sister from another mother. I'm sorry, Mrs. Witchy Perfect, but that's my real name.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna put. Is it the YouTube channel she's on? Propilled. If you haven't, go subscribe to them. That's Snow and Crab and Descent and Bloom are all they do their shows there like what, twice a week or something.
Yes, and I love their shows. Whenever I catch it, I'm always talking to Snow. I'm always talking to Descent and Bloom because again, love them. I love Greg too, even though he has that rash. I think you should get that looked at. No,
This is her
no, we love
Substack.
my Crab.
That's
Yes.
her Substack. You guys want to check it out?
I mean, she has so many good articles, guys. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. I was like, I want to do this one. I want to do that one. I want to do this one and that one and that one and that one. So we'll do some more as long as Angel gives his approval. He gives his okay. I will do some more on that. We'll probably finish that article next week. And then I'll do some more articles because, again, I love Descent and Bloom. I can't get enough of her. I'm reading her articles like every other day. I'm just like, oh my God, I got to share this on the show.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, one thing real quick I just found here, which is horrible, but just one more thing before we go. So Microsoft AI Copilot Health can connect to your medical records and wearables. So,
oh, dear goddess.
Yeah, so my Copilot's Microsoft AI. If you have Windows computer, it's connected there. And it's it's probably overhearing all your conversations, no matter what. So, yeah, so they're Microsoft.
No, I disabled mine.
Okay, well, if you got to disable it in order, so you got to go into settings, I think, and disable it. So, I mean, we could go over that at some point and try to disable that. Let me see how many likes we have before we go. 26. Okay, well, it's good, but it's not close to 40.
I'm sorry, that's funny. You know what? I can write my own spell for that, bad cookies. I could write a spell that says Trump should shit himself.
I am subscribed, but the algorithm doesn't tell me when they're on. Yeah, that's the thing. The algorithm doesn't tell us when most of us are on. So even
Yeah, that's awful.
People saying, the algorithm doesn't tell them when we're live. Even though you subscribed and click the bell, it still won't tell you. So
Yeah.
they kind of shadow bans people. It shadow bans us and ProPilled and I'm not sure. I assume Harlan's Media and all the other people in the space also.
Oh yeah, they definitely. Kid has been shadow banned. Not only that, he's been also censored. What he said 9 times, 10 times by now. So yeah, please watch Harlan's Media. We love you, Kit. Again, Sunday I will have Kit Cabello and Dave from Deconstructing Topics. And they will be on my show. Angel will be there, but he will be late. Of course,
I'll probably be a few minutes late, but
that's okay.
Yeah, we got to get Dave back on this show too, but he's been busy, so that's why I haven't really.
Yeah, he's running for mayor. I would vote for him, but I don't live where he lives, so I would definitely vote for him. No, I love Dave. He's been trying to send me support money. Thank you, Dave, for that. If you would like to support me, you can through Cashapp. Again, you can find this all on my channel. Nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. You can find it on my Whispers of the Craft and also on Mrs. Witchy Perfect's Tarot. Links are all in the description field. So please, please tell your friends about all that. I actually told my mother that I have a tarot channel because she's always asking me for a fucking, tarot reading. So, if you would like your own tarot reading, please send me an email or send me a DM on X, and I will try to get back to you. It is $30 a question, but I give you details. Ask Angel, ask Kit. Trust me, I will go on forever and ever and ever if you let me. Trust me, I will. So what I hope for is that I will keep getting subscribers and to help me grow so that I can get my message out there. But yes, I will have Angel Deconstructing Topics and Kit for Kurt's birthday. We're gonna do some trivia. So I have like a quiz that I made up with AI, and then I kind of had to like tweak it for myself. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna just watch like something at the end. It's only gonna be an hour long, so it's not gonna be forever. But yeah, so.
All right. So
Let Hitman Hart beat him. Just saying. Wait, Bad Cookies. What are you talking about?
I think he's comparing the hearts to Mr. Perfect.
Well, actually, you're wrong, Bad Cookies. November 9th, 1989, Mr. Perfect beat Bret Hart. So,
yeah, I mean that's fair. Fair is fair. Yeah,
it was a match. It was a match. Yes, it was on. It was on Wrestling Challenge, but they showed it on Primetime Wrestling.
In 1989, Bret was seen as a tag team guy, and Kurt was getting a push in 1989, but that ultimately went by the wayside when a blonde-haired guy said, "Doesn't work for me, brother." So,
that doesn't work for me, brother. And he did the same thing in 1999 to Kurt when the West Texas Rednecks were getting really big.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where is it? Here we go.
Yeah, we also know what happened to Owen in '99.
No, he fell, John. Owen Hart fell. He didn't get hung.
Yeah, he fell. He fell from the rafters of.
It was like 90 feet or something. It gets higher every time they say it, but I think it was like 100 feet.
After he died.
My camera froze, but I'm about to wrap up anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I just want to say, even though we're doing wrestling talk next Saturday, hopefully we do it this time. Hopefully.
We will do it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 21st.
We got to review. We got to review Relation Chamber and stuff.
Yeah. And also, don't forget the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano Netflix fight. If any of you are interested.
That'd be. Is that in April or is it this month? I think it's in April.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't see Gina losing to her. I just don't.
Ronda's not. Neither of them has fought in over 10 years. So they're getting back in the not the ring, but in the octagon or whatever it's called. After over 10 years for both of them. So I'll probably watch it. I have Netflix, so it doesn't cost me any extra money, but still.
We will do it. What are you talking about? I only tell my husband that I'm going to make love to him. Oh, Bad Cookies. I'm over there. Whoop you. All right.
All right. So, we do have to wrap up. Just real quick here. Where is it?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
How many likes do we have?
Is this not why you are here?
27. Looks like, yeah.
Oh, no, Mrs. Witchy Perfect on topless. Oh, well. We'll try for next week.
We wouldn't be able to do it anyways because you're on cameras, so.
That doesn't mean I can't pull my camera down and go semi-type topless.
All right, so I want to thank everybody.
I still can't believe they made a sequel to Gladiator. I mean, that was so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I didn't even like the first one.
Yeah. Like
I wasn't like the Russell Crowe.
Some movies don't need a sequel. Like that Gladiator was one of them. So, and Godfather, they didn't need a third movie, but that was not good.
Titanic 2? Are they doing the Titanic 2? I think we all got what happened in the end.
No, as far as I know, no. How do you do a part 2 to that movie? It's sunk. So.
I know, right? They all die.
Rebooting Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it's like a 4-episode thing. It's not really, or 6 episodes.
Even though Frankie Muniz is a stock car driver now.
He's not even an actor anymore, but they brought him back for like a few episodes there. So, all right. So we do have to go, everybody. Make sure you give me a like and a subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at AngelJRivera08.
That was Aladdin too.
Yeah. The Return of Jafar. All right. That was Aladdin. All right. So, yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social medias. The links are down there. Make sure you subscribe to Witchy's channels. They're probably down there as well. If not,
no thanks, Abby. No thanks. But I love you all. Mwah, 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 mwah. All my fans.
That's you kissing Mr. McMahon's ass.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot myself. Thanks.
I'll show you.
No thanks, Abby. I have my own. Thank you.
All right, so thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Have a nice weekend. We'll be back next Friday for Angel in the afternoon. Peace out.